Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another video. Today's video is another show review, and today we will be reviewing The Chi Season 4 Episodes 1 and 2. So first off the back, they finally came back out with the season. Yeah, so I wanted to, get y'all caught up to date what has happened so far. I mean, obviously, if y'all have already been watching it so far, y'all already know what's been going down. So, basically, season 4, episode 1 starts off, and I'd like to apologize for any background noise y'all may hear. I can't stop what's happening outside, but hey, you know what it is. I'm going to try my best to not get as much sound as possible. So, season 4, episode 1, it's starts off all over the place, but it dies down and then it just gets right on into it. So season 1 was basically about Emmett doing well with his job. He hired Papa to work for him, so Papa got his first check or whatever. Yes, him and Maisha are still going strong. I actually think they look better. They're a better couple than it was with Kevin and Maisha. It's like, it just seems real, not like forced and fake like that. But anyway, let's move on to the rest. Emmett is still kind of in his feelings, and he's like basically losing his mind because he still hasn't told Tiff that he slept with his worker, the new girl. I forgot her name already that fast. But yeah, he slept with her. And then kind of find out she's dating his dad. Like, y'all definitely keeping it in the family for real. It was like, wow. And then Kevin and his girlfriend Gemma are going strong. Like, he slept over her house. But mind you, he thinks her father didn't know that he was over there. So he went and threw all his stuff out the window, then jumped out the window and, got dressed up. But mind you, her dad is basically watching everything on camera. So it's just like, you gotta be kidding me. You thinking you're slick. But in all actuality, you actually caught. But her dad did not say anything to him. So he just basically invited him back into the house and whatever, started talking about certain things, and he was like agreeing to what her dad had to say, and Gemma was like, yeah, whatever. But I don't like how she be talking to her dad like that. Like, I wonder what happened to her mom. Did her mom die or something? I'm not sure if they brought it up in the previous season, but yeah, because her mouth was a little reckless. So after that happened, Kevin tells Gemma that he loves her and she loves him too and whatnot. And they were supposed to be Kevin was supposed to be going to a pro-black rally with her, but he's like, nah, him and Jake is going to a basketball game. So eventually, they do get on the train or whatever and go to the basketball game. But before they can even enjoy themselves, they get into an altercation with somebody that Jake had beef with from before. And then, the cops intervene and then everything just went left. So, long story short, Jake got beat up by the police. Kevin did try to step in, but they lowered him to the ground and punched him in his face as well. And thank goodness Maisha and Papa was there, because Maisha recorded the incident and, they uploaded so that everybody can see what really happened and what was going on. So basically it was police brutality, but they taking their time and moving their feet to get justice. So then they end up taking Jake to, I think, a jail cell, the holding place. So they treated him like an animal, but he's a whole kid. They treated him like an animal, and he's a whole kid. I was like, that part right there made me cry. Like, his nose all busted up. They broke his wrist, his arm, or whatever. And it's like, y'all could have did a lot better. Imagine if he was a white boy. Y'all would not did nothing. Y'all was like, okay, you go ahead. I believe you. Go. No. just because he's black, you choose to, treat him like an animal, which he is not. He's still a kid. But, everybody don't see stuff that way. So moving along. Then Kevin starts, drinking and smoking and just doing what he want and just think he's in this all by himself. When now actually he do have people that is there and that's willing to help, but he's just not thinking that way. He's just clouded judgment, basically. So he eventually does go home. He ignores his mom, and she's asking him what's wrong, whatever. He's just looking at her like all through space, like, whatever. And then, Keisha comes in and talks to him and like, listen, I've been here. Obviously, she's been there because, her situation. And I did not know she got pregnant by that, but she's pregnant. She's pregnant. And I guess their mom, doesn't want her to, keep the baby based on what happened to her. But I think, let me not, that's the next episode. So basically, she talks to Kevin and, tries to let him get an understanding of what she went through and stuff like this. So he finally says, okay, well, maybe I should just do this and then, it won't be so bad, whatever. So then that episode ends and then we move on to episode 2. Now, 2 basically continues. Emmett is still, contemplating whether to tell Tiff about him sleeping with, I forgot her name. Yeah, his worker. I forgot. Lala. We're going to use her real name. Lala was sleeping with her and it's like eating him up inside. Like, just go ahead and tell Tiff what happened. And, you might feel better in the end. But, he's still, la la la. So him and his father, they have like a double date at his house. And his dad comes out with a VCR tape and the VCR. And they're just like, that is so old school. But hey, some things are better that way. But, he's, and then Lala, Tiff asks Lala to, do a side hustle because she's a good cook, but this side hustle involves something that Emmett was not trying to have into his establishment, but they eventually do it behind his back or whatever. And they was falling in love with it, so they all eat some weed brownies. And everything just went like out the window. Emmett think he told Tiff what happened, but he didn't. So he's still fighting with himself to let it out. And it's just crazy. Jake is still kind of upset that Kevin wasn't there to stand up for him. But he was trying to, but he couldn't get to. It was like a little bit too late. But hey, I mean, all you had to do was just listen to what Kevin was telling you to begin with, Jake. But he's so hot-headed that, he thinks everybody's out to get him, which is understandable because that's how he lived his life and that's how he grew up. So he got to keep thinking everything's on edge. So Kevin was on the bus and they was going on their way to their college tour. And Kevin was asking Jake, how's your arm? He was like, it's all right. They said I'll be ready and they said I'll be good in like 2 days. But mind you, this other girl came and sat down next to Jake and she asked the same question. He was like, I'm not going to be good for another month or 2. And Kevin's looking like, and whatever, just brush it off. So that, whatever. And then let me see what else. Keisha, she's working at a clothing store, and that lady, her manager or whatever, the worker head person, she was just working this girl, working every time she tried to do something. Here you come, here she go, nagging, you can do this, you can do the. She had her working, but she's trying to try to better herself because right now, Keisha, she would be getting ready to go to college, but, with her situation, she got to put that on hold so that way, she can, handle her baby situation. So, and also another thing, she's looking for adoptive parents. I believe her parents, well, her mom, she wants her to put up the baby up for adoption, but in my mind, I don't think that's what Keisha wants. I think she actually wants to keep the baby. Like, in the back of her mind, it's just, a way like she be looking and the way her she say things is just like she actually wants to keep that baby. She does not want to give it up for adoption. But she does end up meeting with an adoptive family that's looking to, take in the baby. So they go in and meet with the parents. Shout out to Tabitha Brown. Yeah, she's supposed to be one of the adoptive parents, and she has her spouse. You can tell from the beginning when they first showed up that Keisha, her mom, showed up, that they was not on the same playing field, because the way when Tabitha, I'm gonna just use her real name, Tabitha said certain things, her spouse would say something else, and it just be like, yeah, it's something off about y'all. But Keisha picked up on it, and she realized that they wasn't like this. They were like this, not equally yoked or whatever. So she was like, I'm gonna think about it and stuff like that. I think it was like a day or two later, she comes over to Keisha's house and is saying, listen, I understand I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to try and do what's right. But Keisha wants her baby to grow up in a two-family household, which she did in the past. Growing up, she did have her mother and father in the picture, and now she has her two moms in the picture. So either way, look at, she still have a two-parent household. She wants to be loving, nurturing, not as much fighting and bickering. For the most part, a happy, loving household. That's what she wants for her child. Let me see what else. Kevin and Jake ended up going to their college tour, and they meeting up at this college. I forgot the name of the college, but they end up meeting up at the college. They meet some other kids or whatever. And the kids are a whole bunch of, I think they're like in a frat house or whatever. They end up going to where they were playing games. And the kids end up giving him some shrooms. And I'm not for nothing, I kind of think that they only gave it to him, because it looked like he was the only person that was tripping out. And it was just like, what? You kept seeing him space out, space out, space out, space out. But he eventually ended up calling Keisha to go pick him up. Yeah. Because he left out of where they was, and he started walking up the stairs. And I guess the head person that was in charge for the college tour was in the hallway as well as Gemma, and they was asking questions like, are you okay, whatever. And I guess they found out what happened to him, and they was like, listen, you got to go. You like a liability right now, and we cannot take it. So Keisha ended up picking him up, and they still having another heart-to-heart talk. And I don't think they told their parents just yet. So hopefully he don't get into too much trouble, because that would look bad. And then it's like no college would want to take him at that point. So he need to straighten up his act. Kevin, get it together, get it together, get it together. And yeah. All right, so moving all along, Emmett finally tells Tiff that, he's just sleep with Lala. And, Tiff, she ended up leaving. And she ended up going to, I think, her weed guy, which is Corey Hardrick. Yep, her weed guy. Shout out to Tia husband. Yeah, so they, so I guess she put him on to what her and Lala was doing with the drugs or whatever. And she ended up spending the night at his house. And then you have Images up at his house thinking like, this chick didn't come in at all last night. Up looking through the window or paranoid or whatever. Like thinking maybe she left him for good. But we don't know what's going on yet, because, it's toward the end. After that part, Emmett's mom, she's still dating her masseuse, and she ended up having her high school reunion, and that went great for her. And then they ended up going home, and as they started to do, he felt like this lump on her breast or whatever, and she was like, that's always been, I go get it checked out every year, and nothing seems to come to it. So he wanted her to go get it checked out again. So she does go get it checked out again. And come to find out, she has breast cancer. And I believe it's kind of like in the stage 3 or stage 4, because the doctors was like, we need to run some more tests. We need to check this out and do a biopsy to see how bad is it. That part made me cry too, because she just broke down. She was like, listen, I know she was thinking in her head, like, as many times as I went to the doctor each year and still nobody found nothing or said nothing, it's just like heartbreaking, because now it's like she got to tell her son that, you know, what she got. She also got to tell her masseuse boyfriend what she got. Like, after all this time, you telling me I now have breast cancer. It was so heartbreaking. She just broke down and started crying. Whew, I felt her pain. I felt her pain. Not that I've experienced that, but I just felt her pain, because nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to hear those words, you have breast cancer. It's like you're losing a part of yourself, as well as a part of what makes you you. Yes. So basically that just concludes episodes 1 and 2 from season 4. Yes, I can't wait to see episode 3. I will recap y'all up on that one as well. So guys, if y'all enjoyed this recap of the episodes, please give it a like, comment down below, hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified every time I post. And until next time, we are out of here. Peace.